Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So we are trying to make an SQL Server connection with a C-sharp application. So to do that, first thing first, so we should first have the database ready for us. If it's not ready, we should create it. I deliberately not created it, so we can learn how to create a database and some table of it. Of course, we don't dig so deep into that aspect because you see that the SQL Server is it is on needs a lot of research. All we need to know right now is we have to have a ready-made database. So we'll make one of that, but not with that much detail. After that, we jump into the Visual Studio and make a new project. In this project, we simply just make an SQL connection, SQL Server connection, I mean. So we can make a CRUD operation. By CRUD, I mean create, read, write, and delete operation to the SQL Server and manage some data out there. So basically we should start from SQL Server because we don't have the database. So let's start the process. First thing, we right-click on the database and say new database. By the way, if you don't see this screen, you can just see how I came here. You open up the Visual Studio. That's really something not that difficult. You should first have SQL Server, of course, and Management Studio. So you need both the engine, SQL Server engine, and after that you should install the SQL Server Management. The management is this screen right now. So without the SQL Server engine, this management cannot do anything. So you first have to install the engine. My engine is ./SQL Express. It's stored in that instance. So this server name is related with my engine. I use the Express version of the engine. It's not that big, but as you can see, I don't use it for difficult tasks. If you are trying to make this in a real environment and in a business environment, you should absolutely not use the Express. You should try to make something way much more bigger. There's Enterprise, so I recommend that. After that, you are asking about the username and password. This is system administration. The system administrator's password for the SQL Server. So I have my own password. I enter my password. I say remember my password. I don't want to ask me again and again. Okay. So I came to the screen that we talked about. Right now I go to database and create a new database. In here I say my database name should be, okay, let's name it. So, by the way, sorry about my spelling, I'm not really an English person, so my writing skills is very so low. And then the database I stored here, okay, DB, and in EDB, okay, and okay. Right now we have a sales DB. So in the sales DB, you should expect that there's no table in there. It's simply, we should start from scratch and make a new table. Create a new table right now. I am not making a whole sales DB, of course, because I want to just make you a brief about it. So to make a new table, you should first have an idea. That's necessary, you see, and we should change the data type to big integer, big int, okay? Allow nulls? No, don't allow nulls. So I just say make it the primary key, set primary key, that's it. After that, I should make it to make an auto increment and auto by one each time a new record is added, and occupy that value. So the next value, if let's say that record is deleted, the next value will not be incremented by 1, it will be incremented by 2. So I came to an identity specification. I say it's an identity. So I say yes, increment identity increment by 1, identity seed by 1. So it means that each time a record is deleted, this record will remain, this value will remain for the deleted record, not any other record will be stored with that value again. Okay. Have an ID and have, let's say, product name. I don't know how product is spelled, so sorry if there's a mistake. I say it is in var char. Okay, var char of 50. Okay, I don't have to argue with that. So product name, and let's say product price. Okay. I say this is decimal. Okay. What do we have? Expansion, let's say, because date. This should be date. Okay. I think that's okay. I don't really want to become that much big. So for my, that's a convention, not my way of doing things. There's a convention that says you should say TBL underscore. So you are free to not follow that. But it is a convention, so make it that way is better. TBL under dash, this one is products table, so products. Okay. We store that one. Let's refresh and see. Yeah, that's it. We have a product table right now. So who is gonna buy this product? Of course, it's a customer. So we need a new table for customers. And by the way, when you go to supermarket, they don't ask for your identity. So the customer's name is not really that necessary. You should know that. But in some cases, you have a vendor and you try to make a discount for them. In that case, that vendor should have a name stored in that database. So we can, or we can make a new table for vendors, but I don't recommend it like that. You just have to see that the vendor is a customer, so you don't have to separate them because you accounting something. You might be counter for something that will make you make a union. In some cases, if you want to merge these two data together, so you have to do it in the same table. Okay. I don't know how to say that. Big integer, and I say set primary key. I say name, but it is not required. So name is an var char, of course, of 50 using the Python. And alone notes, yeah, it's not required. Okay, and then name and okay. Right now we ask ourselves, one customer should have can have multiple products. So and one product have to buy by one person. So the relation here is one to many. To do that, we know that the customer here is not stick with the product ID. And we also know that in the product we can have multiple customers. It means that one product can be bought by multiple persons. That's not really the real thing in reality. You see, when I buy a car, this car is mine, so that's not a good example. But let's say that car is stored in the database by one name. So that name have a quantity of like 100 cars, okay? So let's say Volkswagen cars have 100 quantity. So when I buy a Volkswagen, I buy only one Volkswagen. So the 99 of it will remain in the database, waiting for a new customers to buy. That's the scenario. Okay, I want you to figure out the product here is not the same product. They don't have the same barcode. Okay. Okay. And I say ID, name, and that's it. Okay, that's it. And let's see, by date, no. Okay, that's it. I just saved that into the TDL underscore customers. Okay. So right now we have both of these two. To make a relation between these two, you can see that we don't have any ID that can be related together. If we just relate the ID from here to here, it will be one-to-one, and it does not make any sense. So I just make a new table. This table will be the table for the money-to-money, just for that purpose. So don't have any other thing. It should have its own ID. That's not big. Okay. And make that to primary. There's a primary, and here's an identity specification. I say yeah. I think in customers I missed to do that. I think yeah, I missed that one. Yeah, and resave it. Okay, save it. And here we just say the customer ID. It is of course big integer. We already made that, and the product's ID. Product's ID. This two ID is the foreign keys. You might have heard about it, big integer. This is the foreign key for this primary key, okay? And this one is the foreign key for this primary key. Save. I say table, TBL, underscore, product underscore customers. It's a good way to name it by that convention. It is between product and customer. So make an underscore separation between them and prefix it with a TBL. Okay. So right now we have 3 tables. I make a refresh. That's it. And I came to the database diagram to make a new database diagram. Okay, yeah. Add all these 3 tables together, close it, and here we came to okay. We came to the table product customers, okay? Drag the customer's ID to this ID, and this result will came. It reminds you that you have choose an ID in the table customers, and the foreign key is TBL under dash product customers, customer ID. So note that the IDE detected that the primary key will be an ID of the TBL under that underscore customers, while in the second time the foreign key table is the TBL product customers, because this one is not a primary key and this one is a primary key. So the IDE will know that the primary one is the primary key and the other is the foreign key. If this one is also a primary key, it became a one-to-one relation. Okay, that make one-to-many relation. Okay. Insert, update, delete. Well, I see this make it a cascade. Okay. And I came to the products ID and related with that's the same scenario. I don't have to speak about this delete rules and think this. Why we say that? That's really need a lot of time. So just say cascade and this. Okay. Right now we see that we said this relation is money to money, sorry. but I said that the relation between this customer and this table product is one to many. As you can see, it is one here to many of here, and one product to many of here. So it will become money to money. That is the scenario. When you do a relation of money to money, this is the way for you to do it. Okay. I think that is enough for this. I stored the diagram. Okay. I think that's enough for this lecture. We'll see you in the next one, inshallah.